A jolt and then you'll die.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Ahlam Game Dev. I'm Ahlam, an indie game developer, and today I'm going to show you player movement in Unity and Visual Studio with some C# code. So first, before we start, if you have never used C# or don't know anything about it, then there is a link in the description to a website that you can learn C# from there. Also, before you start, go to edit here in the Unity editor and go to preferences, and in the external tools tab, in this external script editor should be at open by file extension. If you don't have Visual Studio in the choices, then you can just browse for the exe file. So now let's start. So I already have a player. There's just a sprite, a circle sprite. So if I can just right click to the object sprite and a circle, and in the inspector I just changed the color, so it should be white for you, but I just changed it to a blue color. And we also have to add a rigid body, so just type rigid body, and we have to take the 2D because we're in 2D right now, and the gravity scale should be at 0. And I already created a C# script, so just click here on the plus button and C# script. You can rename it, and make sure to not have any space between the words, then it will not accept it. So, and double click it to open up in Visual Studio. And we're just gonna drag and drop this onto our player right here. Okay, so in Visual Studio it should look something like this, and I'm just gonna delete the start method because we do not need it, and instead we're gonna create some variables like this and make some new lines. Up here, first we have to create a public float variable, and I'm gonna call it movement speed. I use the word public so that we can access it in the Unity editor. We also need a rigid body, so public rigid body 2D variable, and I'm gonna call it RB. It is also public, so you can access it in the Unity editor also. And now I'm gonna make a private vector2, and this one should be I'm gonna name it as movement. And in the update method, we're gonna write not vector2, we're gonna write movement dot the x on the x-axis equal to input dot get axis raw, some parentheses and a semicolon, and inside the parentheses we're gonna write horizontal. So if we write input.getAxis raw, it means that we're gonna have more snappy controls, and if you want a more of a smooth control, you can just write getAxis, but I prefer the getAxis raw for snappy controls. And also, since the x is horizontal, so we're gonna write movement.y is equal to input.getAxis raw on the vertical. So getAxis raw, parentheses, semicolon, and quotation marks, we're gonna write vertical. And we also may need a fixed update method, so write fixed update. So like fixed update. I'm just gonna remove a private, and in here we're gonna access our rigid body, so rb dot a method called move position, and first we have to write our current position, so rb dot position, like that, where plus the movement vector3 multiplied by the movement speed, and also time dot fixed delta time. We use time.fixed delta time, so it doesn't matter how fast your computer is or how slow your computer is, it's always going to adjust. And if we save this and go to Unity, it is refreshing. Also, by the way, if you haven't noticed, I'm not recording a webcam because I thought it would be disturbing for you guys seeing what I'm doing. So in the player, in the inspector, we've got movement speed, let's say 10 for example, and we're gonna drag this rigid body and put it in there. Now if we hit play, we should have a snappy and good controls, and we should be able to move our player with the WASD keys. Now, yes, we can move our player with WASD keys. We can also move with the arrow keys also. Really cool. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and the person who comments in the first 30 minutes of this video to be uploaded to YouTube that they subscribed will get a shout out in the next video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content. And see you in the next video.
A jolt and then you'll die.